ready to kick it off tonight here in Winnipeg. We've waited 7 months for this. And the journey begins towards the Grey Cup, which will be in Edmonton in November. Two 12-6 teams to kick it off tonight, the earliest ever kickoff to a season in CFL history. We have liftoff in the 2018 season. Jamil Smith weaves his way up for the Edmonton Eskimos. And Mike Riley, last year's most outstanding player in the Canadian Football League, disposed of this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team last November in the West semifinal, went to the West final, and there was a lot of talk in the offseason about decisions made in that West final.
Yeah, there certainly was, but anything that happened in November is irrelevant now. 2018 is officially underway.
With some new faces, new blood, new journey, new hope for everyone. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Canada, and those of you watching south of the border. Mike Riley from the shotgun. No Brandon Zylstra this year. We've got a penalty right out of the chute. Looked like some movement from the Eskimos. And that front line, this is an Eskimo team with a lot of new faces in it as well, partner.
Illegal procedure. Edmonton, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Andre Proulx is our referee tonight.
Yeah, certainly much will be said in Edmonton about change in that receiving core, particularly when a guy who's been front and center like Adarius Bowman moves on. But that's been the deepest part of their team, and there's still a ton of threats out there.
First down, 15. They move it back 5 after the procedure call. Riley gunning. Far side. Incomplete pass. And looking for C.J. Gable out of the backfield.
And here we get a look at the guys in Mike Riley's arsenal looking for a big year. From Dakiel Duke Williams, 1,000-yard pace last year, but only played 13 games. Matt O'Donnell anchors that offensive line. He's the veteran leader with the retirement of Simeon Rotier. O'Donnell, a CFL All-Star.
Wind will be a factor tonight. Blows from right to left on your screen from the south to the north. They're also expecting a thunder shower here a little bit later in this ball game. There's the rush. There goes the ball. It's incomplete. And there's a penalty flag on the near side of the field and also the far side. And we might have had a false start here as Adam Bighill makes his Winnipeg Blue Bomber debut tonight.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 47. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So they'll have another shot here at second down.
And Winnipeg Blue Bombers looking to bring a little bit of heat early. Adam Bighill coming on the blitz. No friendship on game day. Of course, Mike Riley's former teammate from both BC Lions and Central Washington University.
Bighill, a big acquisition in the offseason. Riley, humming one. Going up high was Duke Williams, but Taylor Loeffler, Joe Dirt, as they call him, was right there. And now the Eskimos will bring out their kick team. Taylor Loeffler coming out hitting out of the chute.
You know, 16 in blue and gold wouldn't have it any other way.
Kevin Fogg, not only a DB but also a returner, is back near his 30. Hugh O'Neill should get a good boost here with this wind here at Investors Group Field. Bit of a wobbler. Fogg comes up near the 42. There's a no yards call. And Winnipeg will have good field position. And the rookie, fresh-faced, first game as a CFLer, about to make his debut in a moment. Comes to Canada in his first game, not as a backup or a third stringer, but as a starter. The first player straight out of college to start since this guy named Anthony Calvillo back in 1993.
And you saw on the sidelines the man whom he is replacing, Matt Nichols.
Streveler, this is what he does best. Can run, trying to get outside, and he's tripped up.
Well, Chris Streveler has mentioned a straight out of college rookie, but again, he's got a pretty good supporting cast. You got to expect that the ball is going to be in the hands of Andrew Harris, a fair bit, a guy who led the Canadian Football League in yards from scrimmage last year, and he'll get all kinds of help from his big left tackle, CFL's best in the business, Stanley Bryant.
Darius Bowman, one of the newcomers. Strevler back to pass, has time out of the backfield for Andrew Harris, and he's knocked down right away. And so once again the kick team comes out, 2-and-out for the Blue Bombers. Justin Medlock comes out in the field. He will not attempt a field goal from this distance against the wind. He will punt it away as Andrew Harris, CFL rushing leader last year, looks to try to do what no man has done before, have a 1,000-yard receiving and rushing season.
Yeah, very close. Approached 1,900 combined yards last year.
Medlock into the breeze. Good kick, though. Smith maybe should have let that one go and given up a point. Long field with the breeze on a 48-yarder. Cloudy night, but it's opening night. The lid lifter on the Canadian Football League season. CFL's #1 out of top 50, Mike Riley, back on the field. Rematch of the West semifinal, won by the Eskimos, who went to the West final, lost to Calgary. Long field here for Mike Riley. Shadows of his goalpost. Back to pass with time. And it is caught, and this is gone. Darrell Walker, 101-yard touchdown to start the season. Wow.
And a bit of a hush falls over Investors Group Field just like that.
We had a conversation with Darrell yesterday. He was so looking forward to this season because he would get a whole season in. Did not play the whole season last year, coming back from the National Football League. And Darrell Walker picking up where he leaves off usually, leaving people in his dust.
And Chris Randall was perfectly positioned. Randall, one of the best corners in the Canadian Football League. But Darrell Walker with the perfectly timed jump, tremendous concentration to bring in that contested catch.
The veteran Sean White, the 32-yard point after with the wind. And the silencer from Darrell Walker. D-dub from Mike Riley. And Darrell Walker, who starts this season off with a bang for the Edmonton Eskimos. His second longest ever receiving touchdown in the Canadian Football League at 101 yards. Previously had a 104-yarder. This was magic.
Yeah, and I love this, using the speed of Darrell Walker, getting him as the wideout on the corner, but having him off the line of scrimmage so he can use the waggle, get that running start, and make the most of his speed. You saw him get half a step on Chris Randall, and that was all he needed for Mike Riley to believe that number 87 could turn this into 6.
Walker, who 2 years ago, again a former Rookie of the Year and 10 touchdown season, all-star. And keep in mind, an Eskimo receiving corps missing a Darius Bowman, missing Brandon Zylstra, last year's league-leading receiver, but they still have a ton of weapons.
Yeah, the depth last year was remarkable. You heard Derek Taylor in the details talk about Bryant Mitchell, who's not in the lineup tonight, still recovering from injury. He's been out through camp. But no shortage of weapons at Mike Riley's disposal.
Mike Riley, a 5,000-yard season, almost 6 last year. MVP, MOP season. 30 touchdown passes. #1 of 2018 goes to Darrell Walker. So the Bombers look to answer back here now. Ryan Langford from his 15 picks his way up to the 33-yard line. So Chris Strevler, his second series, and of course hailing from the University of South Dakota, actually was in Minnesota as a quarterback, switched to receiver, then became a quarterback in South Dakota with the Coyotes.
Yeah, well, the two things you'll hear people talk about most with Chris Strevler are his athleticism, which you see right here. This guy can absolutely fly. Milt Stiegel talked about it in the pregame. His pro day numbers, you're talking about a quarterback running a 40 in the 4.5s.
Andrew Harris, right side, his first carry of the new season. We talked with the Eskimos yesterday, J.C. Sherritt, and he said the words drastically different defense.
Yeah, certainly it is that. Armando Sewell with 45 career sacks, the only returning starter on that defensive line. Of course, so happy to see J.C. Sherritt back in the middle of this defense after he was injured in the second quarter of the Esks opener last year, that Achilles injury. Jordan Hoover, second-year man from Waterloo, one of 3 guys on the back end making their first career CFL start for the Eskimos.
2nd and 4, low snap. Strebler looks over the top and floats it in, and it's picked off. And J.C. Sherritt, in his first game back after missing all of last season after opening night with an Achilles tear, has an interception. Welcome back, J.C. And a daunting start so far for the Blue Bombers. J.C. Sherritt, veteran J.C. Sherritt, game 1 this year. Interception courtesy of Chris Strebler.
Yeah, making an impact right in the middle of that defense. Terrific athletic play from J.C. Sherritt. Strebler maybe a little guilty of looking to his comfort zone right away, going to the check down route. As an aside, going to the receiver with whom he is most familiar, Drew Wolakowski.
Right with them in Minnesota, Mike Riley looking to make them pay right away. Deep shot again, and overthrows Duke Williams. And usually you'll see teams try that, go after that after a pick. And here's a Bomber D last year that had a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of turnovers in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, they did a terrific job, plus 14. And that giveaway, takeaway, Jackson Jeffcoat, a big contributor with 7 sacks last year. Adam Bighill, expect him to be a monster. Also signing Chandler Fenner from BC during free agency. We mentioned Chris Randall beaten on that first touchdown, but this guy is a top defender, a CFL All-Star last year, and Winnipeg's nominee as most outstanding defensive player.
Riley, little shovel toss, and C.J. Gable's going nowhere in the backfield on 2nd down, and Mike O'Shea's looking for a good spot. They will bring the kick team out, and with this big wind, well within the range of Sean White.
And I just want you to take a look at Adam Bighill, the middle linebacker on this play. And this is why this guy is such a valuable player. It's his versatility. Not just a run stuffer at 230 pounds, but a guy with whom you're completely comfortable having him drop to take a zone and be one of your deep guys in coverage. One of the most versatile athletic linebackers in the Canadian Football League.
Sean White hit for 94% last season, well within his range with the breeze, and he will pour this one through. His first field goal attempt of 2018 is good. And the Eskimos now have a 10-0 lead, 3 points off of that interception.
Yeah, taking a page from the Bombers' own book of 2017, points off turnovers. The Edmonton Eskimos went for that quick strike right away. And quite frankly, this is a good job to hold by the Bomber defense. Force them to settle for 3.
We'll see how the wind plays out here and the weather tonight. There was supposed to be a storm blow through later on tonight. They have now said it's going to come in about an hour. And we'll see how it affects the wind. The Bombers won the toss and deferred to the second half, noticing that breeze.
Every time Milt Stegall comes in this stadium, something goes wrong.
Bashing up the middle is the Winnipeg native Andrew Harris. Well, that is carrying the football, and another Winnipeg native who comes back home.
Well, the confusion is easy, right? A couple Winnipeg guys, graduates of Oak Park High School here in Winnipeg, both of them in that Blue Bomber starting lineup on offense.
Dembski, a former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, comes back home. And there goes Strebler. Guy with 4.40 speed. Guy who was a receiver in Minnesota with the Gophers for a while, and then again went to South Dakota. Mobility plus.
Yeah, we started earlier talking about that athleticism. This is a guy also, you know, vertical jump in the high 30s, over 10 feet in the broad jump. I mean, these would be great numbers for a DB or receiver.
Strebler going down. So he's given up his first interception. He's been sacked for the first time. And this is all part and parcel of a baptism under fire tonight. But Mike O'Shea really likes number 17.
the fact that he is doing the right things, making the right decisions. I like the fact that he does show that veteran leadership and poise for a young guy in his first year in the CFL. And obviously his athleticism is top-notch.
Strebler, and there's the completion. Far sideline, Darvin Adams.
Well, it's so easy to talk about the athleticism of Strebler because you've seen him run. You know, the videos are all over the place. We can see the pro day numbers, etc. But not to be overlooked is his intelligence. This is a guy who graduated from the University of Minnesota in 3 years. That's what allowed him to transfer and play right away at South Dakota, where he picked up 2 more master's degrees.
Now Harris. A little stutter step and a hit on the quarterback. You're going to add 15 to this. Roughing the passer. So one thing also about Strebler, not short of confidence, but not cocky by any stretch. A classy young man who comes in and never, I probably would think, in a million years, would think he would be put in this position so early.
Unnecessary roughness. Edmonton number 26. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run, and a first down for Winnipeg.
Chris Edwards, the late hit.
Yeah, you saw Jamarcus Hardrick send a little message that won't be happening again.
Winnipeg front line that gave up 38 sacks. That was 5th in the CFL last year, but allowed the least amount of pressure on the quarterback. And now up the middle is Harris for a big first down. Play action by Strebler, who kept it in the gut of Harris. Goes down Main Street for 15 yards.
They get that defense to loosen up a bit. You're going to see the motion of Weston Dressler coming across. This is going to force the Edmonton defense to be aware of contain, to widen a little bit. They can't crash down on Andrew Harris for fear of that perimeter run. Creates a nice seam inside for number 33.
And inside the red zone, a counter play. And Harris slow to get up. He looks like he's hurt here. And in this opening drive, Andrew Harris hobbles to his feet, trying to get back to the huddle. It looks like he's going to go to the sideline.
As Harris goes down, we'll also point out Timothy Flanders opens the regular season on the injured list. The Bombers' usual number 2 at running back, so it's going to be the rookie out of the University of Guelph, Johnny Augustine, who comes on to replace Andrew Harris. Keenan LaFrance, another free agent signing, also starting off on the injured list. Big night for University of Guelph, of course. Mike O'Shea and Kyle Walters, the coach and GM, graduates of there, as are Jenna and Stuart Walker of the Reclaws.
Oh, there we go. Good. 2nd and 9. Strebler, end zone, touchdown, Weston Dressler. Mark it down. First touchdown pass from Chris Strebler goes to Weston Dressler. South Dakota to North Dakota.
Oh, very fitting. Nice drive put together by young Chris Strebler. Penalty aided as they tried to test the rookie with that late hit, but completely unintimidated, undaunted. Bounces right back to punch it in for the Bombers' first major of 2018.
Weston Dressler, who's missed time the last couple of years with injuries. They want a full season with number 7. Justin Medlock against the wind. And the Bombers are on the board. Chris Strebler's first CFL touchdown pass, and his biggest fans in the crowd. Mom and Dad made the trip from Crystal Lake, Illinois to watch their son. Yeah, baby.
For this job, but it's the fact that, you know, he sort of describes himself as an even-keel guy. Doesn't get too high on success, doesn't get too low on the negatives, and we've seen it so far in this game.
We'll see how it plays out again. First guy in 24 years to come right out of college in the Canadian Football League and make a start. 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. opening night. Jamil Smith. Good return up near the 40. And the reason that Chris Grevler is even in the ball game tonight is standing beside Sarah Arleski on the sideline.
Thank you, Rod. Matt, a lot of people obviously very concerned when you went down to injured last week. Start with how you're feeling.
Honestly, feeling great, feeling better and better every day. Rehab's come along great and expect to be out here pretty soon.
How frustrating is it for you to be starting this season, especially with the amount of talent, the expectations on the sideline?
I mean, it's super frustrating, but at the same time, we've been preaching the mantra of next man up around here, and you can just see Chris from the jump. He's got that it factor. He's going to be just fine. You can see him. Took him a little bit to get going here tonight, but you can see what he can do, and I couldn't be more proud of him to told him after that interception. We knew we weren't going to win with 0 points. Go respond, go put up points, and that's what he did.
We look forward to seeing you back, Matt.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Rod?
Matt Nichols got hurt backpedaling in non-contract drill and out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jovan Santos Knox gets in the backfield to stop C.J. Gable, and Matt Nichols. Injuries have frustrated him. Kane had a breakout year last year in Winnipeg. So much expectation, as Sarah said. Frustrating for sure. Bombers have their crowd back in it. Riley to pass again. And right on that far sideline. And it looks like it's short of the first down to Kenny Stafford, back with the Eskimos once more.
Kenny Stafford almost becomes the forgotten man in the wealth of receivers in that Eskimo core.
What a great camera shot. Keeps his feet in on that sideline, so they'll go for it here on third down. And the Bombers think they may have stuffed him, but it looks like they're going to give progress. Mike Riley lunging forward, so looks like they will move the sticks. It is a first down.
It was Adam Bighill and his new partner in crime, Jovan Santos Knox.
So is that
the point
Team
of attack.
49?
We'll need to work on that.
He and Solomon Elamimian for so many years. Team 100 in BC, the tag team there. Batman and Robin. Now here in Winnipeg. There's the shovel. Calvin McCarty, the veteran. Tripped up near the Winnipeg 50-yard line. McCarty in his 12th season wearing green and gold. 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, McCarty, longest serving member of the Eskimos. Drafted back in 2007 out of Western Washington University.
Second down and 3 for Riley. Keep it on the ground once more. A team that did not run the football a whole lot, especially last year, was in the air a ton. But looks very close to another first down here. And they will give that to the Eskimos and move the chains once more.
And you sense it with a full year of C.J. Gable in this Edmonton Eskimos lineup, that the ground game is going to be a bigger part of what they do. You know that with Jason Moss, the head coach, back to offensive coordinator and play calling duties, that time of possession is going to be a big thing for him, as they often use that no-huddle offense.
5,830 yards last year for the 33-year-old Riley. Quick hitter, Stafford, and Adam Bighill brings him down. Adam Bighill, who was in camp, the New Orleans Saints, said he asserted himself well, thought he should have made the team, was released, and so finds himself back in the Canadian Football League. Doing what he did when he left.
Yeah, demonstrating that sideline-to-sideline speed. Now he'll be a full-time guy in the middle now, where previously he usually filled in there when Solomon Elamimian was hurt. He usually played on the weak side.
And whistles. Play clock was coming down to 0. A timeout for the Eskimos. Some confusion as they were lining up. Jason Moss wants to talk about it. But the big acquisition was Adam Bighill, and because he was released so late, there were a lot of numbers as we look at his numbers in the CFL that didn't quite work out with other teams. Found himself in Winnipeg, and what a boost that is for the Blue Bombers.
Yeah, it really is. And you alluded to the circumstances under which he arrived here. I mean, most teams essentially had a large part of their salary cap committed for the 2018 season. So only certain teams would have the room to sign a guy of Bighill stature.
Guy formerly of Team 100 playing in his 100th CFL game. Riley down the rail. Oh, and a great catch made on the near sideline by Kenny Stafford in front of another former BC Lion, Anthony Gator. Went up high and brought it down.
Kenny Stafford demonstrating that he doesn't want to be the forgotten man in the receiving corps for long. A couple of highlight reel catches for number 8 here in the early going.
Eskimos will now operate within the 20-yard line, that red zone or green zone to some. Very proficient last year. Their best receiver in the red zone plays for the Bombers now, though. Last year was Darius Bowman and Darrell Walker. Has a first down, so they will go inside the 5-yard line. Mike Riley last year, 11 touchdowns in the red zone on his feet. Had 12 rushing touchdowns with the Eskimos.
We know that's always been a big part of Mike Riley's game, often to the chagrin of his head coaches, putting himself at risk, but you know that 13's never going to change.
Duke Williams near sideline. Riley looks over there. He'll hand it off. No, he won't. He gives it up, pitches it out to McCarty. And Calvin McCarty rumbles down close to the 1-yard line. And this is where Mike Riley may call his own number now on 2nd and goal.
Off play action, just trying to flood things in that flat. You saw a couple clearing routes ahead of McCarty, trying to create space for him coming late out there.
Gable in the backfield, Riley behind center. 2nd and goal. Looks like he's going to take it himself. He will, and he will score. So 11 times in the red zone last year, 12 rushing touchdowns for Mike Riley, and that's his first major of 2018 and likely not the last. He'll be there a few times this season. And again, quiets this Winnipeg crowd.
Well, we saw the Eskimos on this drive go to their ground game a little bit. Try and soften up a Winnipeg defense that certainly expects to see the ball in the air a fair bit. A nice ball control drive. 10 plays covering 69 yards.
Eskimos dominate with the win. Bombers will get it momentarily as the teams will switch sides. Sean White converts. 10-point lead, 17-7. Eskimos do it offensively. Darrell Walker, touchdown earlier, and Mike Riley. Bombers have the win as we get ready for the second quarter here in Winnipeg on Thursday Night Football.
CFL on TSN. Music's playing, yeah, we're swaying, crank it to 10. Be stop, ready, so wish on one. Singing long, living.
Talking about business all the time, you go, wait a minute, I think I got into the football business, didn't I? So it's great to be here on opening night and in this beautiful stadium.
Now tell me about this business season that we're leaving behind, but what's of the changes made through that off season? What's the thing you're most excited about?
You know, I'm really most proud of how the teams are coming together to collaborate, and I think they're doing a great job of thinking about competing on the field and collaborating and cooperating off the field.
Here's Ryan Langford. Langford almost takes it the distance. Commissioner almost had a chance to do a touchdown return there.
I was picturing myself trying to catch him, but that didn't last very long.
Former Eskimo, of course, who won a Grey Cup. You take a look at this return. One of the things that has come up this week is regarding the salary cap and how it will now extend to the front office. Tell me about the decision that went along with that.
Yeah, you know, one of the first priorities to start the offseason, the business season, was to just take apart our financials and really give the governors a real feel for what the total business looked like. And we found, you know, this our non-player football ops costs were rising dramatically faster and have been for the last 5 years than any other cost in the business. It was a bit of an arms race. Somebody would add a coach, and then everyone wanted to add another coach. And before you know it, there's a lot of people. And look, I love our coaches, love our players, but to be fair to them all, we got to run a good business. That's the number one priority. Running a good business creates a formula for success. Allows us to invest in our growth of our league, and we keep saying this league can be bigger, stronger as we go forward. And part of it is you got to run a good business and get the basics right.
Well, now you mentioned the league being bigger. I know there have been the ongoing, it seems like forever, discussions about expansion possibly to the East Coast. Where do things stand with that now?
Yeah, it's a process. Look, the group we're working with, Maritime Football, are three amazing gentlemen. We are constantly talking, to helping them think about their business plan. They're working with, with the local government in Halifax and with the province of Nova Scotia. We've actually gone and spent some time with Premier Gallant and members of his cabinet and the city of Moncton, and they're interested in how a football team, a CFL team, can really be great for the Atlantic region. But it's going to take time, and it's a process.
Commish just learned that there's a change on the field here after the play on that great return by Langford.
Winnipeg number 19 stepped out of bounds before he recovered the football. Therefore, we've got illegal participation by Winnipeg number 19. By rule, it will be Edmonton ball where the ball is dead. Edmonton first down.
Wow, the Eskimos celebrate here. So illegal participation call.
Yep, got him.
And the Eskimos will take over. Mike Riley puts the bucket back on quickly here. And let's take a look.
So keep an eye on number 19, Kyrie Wilson, as there was a double fumble on this play. So after the Winnipeg fumble, Edmonton then fumbled it, and Wilson recovers. But Wilson had stepped out of bounds. He's just the trail guy right here. And you see him step on the sideline with that left foot. That becomes illegal participation as he comes back in to take part in that play, so his recovery is invalid.
So Riley goes back to work on opening night. Commissioner Randy Ambrosi. Riley pitching it out. Fidel Hazelton. Far side. You were a CFL player, you're the commissioner, and you were a CFL fan growing up in this city as well. And there you are.
Yeah. Okay,
You can't see the picture. Maybe you can tell everybody what you're wearing.
It's a handsome kid, but I'll tell you something. My mom would have spent a lot of time getting my brothers and I ready for picture day in a nice button-down shirt, and I snuck that Don Jonas shirt out of the house and put it on for picture. God bless my mom, she's gone now, but that woman had to deal with a lot.
Riley stepping up. Don Jonas was a quarterback here in Winnipeg in the early 70s. Player of the year. I want to go back to replay if I can for a moment. One of the rules that you've instituted this year is to take away a review of illegal contact. The fans had a lot to do with that, say, did they not?
Yeah, you know, when I went across the country in February, I asked the fans, I said, what don't you like about our game? Unanimously, that was a challenge flag that they hated. And I took that back, and I asked the football guys to talk it through. It wasn't as though we always have to be mindful of the football guys, but the fans didn't like it. In the end, the fans are really happy with the change we made.
There's a penalty flag and whistles. Again, here's Andre Proulx.
Legal procedure. Edmonton number 67, 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Right tackle Colin Kelly didn't get set before the ball was snapped. He was kind of looking around trying to communicate assignments with teammates.
First and 15. From the Edmonton 47.5, up 10. Riley Riley under protection. Terrell Walker, who scored that early touchdown as the Bombers try to rip it out of his grasp. They will not. Because you didn't get opening night last year, and we know that you were in the business world and you were doing great things there, I get a real sense about how much you love this job that you have right now.
Oh, I do. You know, I guess getting up, I mean, my wife, Barb, and I have been together since we were kids. We've been friends, you know, for a very long time, and she just teases me how much fun it looks to get up and be me every day. The fans are great. You know, the team presidents, the governors, I'm enjoying it. Being in the stadium today, just being around the fans has been fantastic, and yeah, I'm enjoying every day.
Riley's going down. Jovan Santos Knox with the sack, wrapped up and ripped down.
Randy, now I want to know, as the commissioner, just how much pull you have. I mean, it's your first opening night. You grew up as a Bombers fan, closed your career winning a Grey Cup with the Eskimos. Did you arrange this matchup for tonight?
Well, listen, I like to think I have some influence, but no, in reality, nobody asked me my opinion on this. I think this is a very fun matchup tonight. Two really good teams, and you know, I'm just looking forward to great football, great games all season long. As you know, 60% of our games last year weren't decided till the fourth quarter, and that's one of the things that makes our game so special.
Hugh O'Neill against the breeze, almost had that blocked. Kevin Fogg near his 10-yard line, cuts near his sideline. Commissioner Ambrosi, have a great year. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you both.
Happy New Year.
Good luck this season, guys. Take care.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Our stadium breathes something of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it did not look good there, especially on opening night. Keep a good back down, though, and change the play up here. Strevler back to work. And Harris puts that leg to test right away. Andrew Harris talked about the 1K dream he has, rushing and receiving. Had a really a great season, all-star season again last year.
Yeah, the CFL's most outstanding Canadian, setting a record for catches by a running back. And you see, again, over 1,000 yards rushing. And yes, for the fantasy players out there, a very valuable commodity.
Number one, there's the one hopper. That was the first pass intended for former Eskimo against his old mate, Sedarius Bowman. May look a little unfamiliar in number 12 to Eskimo fans because he wore 4 in Edmonton. But, in fact, in Winnipeg, not too long ago, well, back in 2009, 2010, that's the number he wore.
Yeah, he said, you know, he had people ask him, when are you going to get that number 4? He says, never mind, I've been trying for 7 years to get back to number 12. TJ Hill had it when he arrived in Edmonton.
A lot of negotiation going on. Adam Bighill wanted 44. Shane Gauthier had that in Winnipeg, so he's going with 4. Speaking of number 4, there's Bowman's old number, worn by Jamil Smith now. Minimal return, 50-yard kick. Mike Riley brings his offense back.
Former CFL Rookie of the Year. Pace to go over 1,200 yards last season had he played the full year.
Gobbled up by Jake Thomas, Acadia product.
You know, we talked with Darrell Walker yesterday, and he says he's never worked out harder. That was his big thing going into the offseason, was that he wanted to be more consistent to his workouts. We know that he hooked up with former teammate Willie Jefferson. Those guys went at it pretty hard.
Not as hard as that guy goes at it, though, on Thursday nights. There's something about Thursday night football. In the peg. 2nd and 12. Riley looking to air it out again. And he escapes, and he's got lots of room here. Mike Riley tripped up, and he lunges forward with the first down. Pocket collapsed. Riley was able to survive contact, kind of stumbled a bit near his own 50, and then still got the first down.
I think the veteran Mike Riley had had enough of everybody talking about the athleticism of Chris Strevler. Just wanted to send a little reminder.
Riley rushed himself for almost 400 yards last year, and big guy, but deceiving speed. And it looks like these teams are now going to go to their locker room. There is lightning in the area. We thought there might be a light show here tonight. It was supposed to be scheduled for another 2 hours after the ball game. But we've been here before, partner. And
Curse
you know what?
you,
The
Milt
curse
Stegall.
of Milt Stegall. On Milt Stegall night, this exact thing happened a couple of years ago. So we'll likely have to get to Milt and the panel. They are sending the teams, and rightfully so, with lightning in the area.
Yeah, send a search party to the rum hut. We need the panel.
Yes. Well, Milt won't be there. but
He's supervising.
I can tell you,
Milt is chaperoning Matty and Jock over
and
there,
Rod,
I think.
because they're in there somewhere. So we will have a delay here on opening night. We had one last year in Hamilton as well. And again, obviously, for the fans, they're going to have to move them undercover. And there is lightning. We're south of downtown Winnipeg, and one of those summer storms comes blowing through here. And this is what it looks like.
Yeah, I'd say it's hitting us.
It's coming in, partner. And fortunately, we're undercover. The fans are going to be told to get undercover as well. And there was a lightning strike near the area, so they are going to take every bit of caution here. Safety for the players, safety for the fans, and everybody as they wait for this storm to blow through. We'll talk to CFL officials. Maybe we can bring the commissioner in. Actually, it's the curse of the commissioner, too, because last year in Hamilton, the commissioner was with us that night as well. And we had an interminable delay that night. And it went well beyond midnight.
Milt was in the building that night, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Labor Day.
Yeah. Milt Stegall, Storm Beagle. That's what it is.
Minutes later, it was 31-0 all of a sudden in that game. Yeah, I mean, all over them. You heard the boos for the Eskimos as they stretch it out, and the cheers for the Bombers coming in. 17-7 is the score. There's Chris Strevler, rookie quarterback, the first rookie to start an opening night in the CFL coming straight out of college since Anthony Calvillo in 1994.
Right, he gets 2 starts in one night.
Right. That's something AC didn't even do.
This is incredible. This kid has actually got a chance to set the restart button. And I think it's going to be incredible for the young man because he's got a taste of it. He can settle down and get his bearings, and that is a big plus, I think, for this football team. That young quarterback getting an opportunity to actually make a second start in one night.
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed watching him play in the first inning. He was 3 of 5. 36 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and his interception, you don't see that very often. It was an interception on a check down with J.C. Sherritt launches himself with one hand, picks him off.
It was a great play.
So there's some bad luck for him, but you can see the athlete in this guy. He just wasn't seeing the field. He wasn't seeing the field in the first quarter because everything was just moving too fast.
Right. He wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
Mike Riley was wearing out the Winnipeg defense in the first quarter and plus.
Well, yeah, I mean, the big play, 101 yards to Darrell Walker on their second possession that really got the momentum going for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Darrell Walker showing you once again why he's one of the top 2 or 3 receivers in this league, in my opinion. He makes plays. And you look at those yards, 186 yards, one of 101 yards came on that play to Darrell Walker. Special player, that 50-50 ball, he goes up and make plays.
A little shout out to fantasy football and Jamie.
You got Darrell Walker?
No, I don't. But Jamie Riddell, our producer, he is all over it already. He's got Darrell Walker, and he is so happy right now.
Do you guys have anybody in this game?
I got Andrew Harris.
Quarter and a half into the CFL season, and he is like
he's killing it.
He's front running right now.
Yeah.
Jock, who do you have in fantasy?
I loaded up on, I'm afraid to say, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Wow.
I loaded
You're trying to get on their good side, huh, Jock?
I got Mazzoli and Banks later on the week.
Saskatchewan tomorrow, so I won't be there. Hope you guys have a good time.
Kamar Jordan coming up. I got Burnham out in BC. Yeah.
Andrew Harris, 5 carries for 29 yards, and he was hurt for a while. Looks just fine there now. An tackle by J.C. Sherritt, who, by the way, was part of the story of the night as well. His first game in a year.
Oh, he's fired up.
He's looking excited.
Yeah.
He's looking excited.
The delay might have helped Andrew because you remember he was hobbled late before it was.
Does not look hobbled at all now.
Well, they're going to need him to come up big. You know, when you have that young quarterback making his first career start, you need him to come up big. And, you know, you're playing against a great defensive coordinator. They have some great players. You saw the play Sherrod made in that first half. It was a special play. So Andrew Harris, when he gets the ball in his hand, he needs to make some plays, whether it be on the ground or through the air. And we know he's capable of doing that. You know, what he did last year, he needs to continue that start in the second half.
What worries me, Milt, is if Edmonton scores again, Andrew Harris could be taken out of that with the run game.
Yes.
And now you're forced into being one-dimensional. They got to stick to that balanced attack as much as possible, keep him involved.
The Sherrod interception led to a field goal that made it 10-0, then 10-7, and then 17-7 now as they get closer. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, this weather delay, since the Eskimos, and on a run by Mike Riley, picked up 14 yards to get to about midfield. So 1st and 10, Edmonton football. That's where we will resume with about 8 minutes left. Closing in on the halfway point of the second quarter, as mentioned. They're just about ready to go again, and there will be no halftime break. They'll play this right through.
Yeah, and that's hard to adjust to as well, you know, to just flip field and keep on going. This is something I guarantee these guys haven't done, except for the Bombers who were here in the last couple of years. They experienced this, but these other guys have never done that before. Play 2.5 quarters straight through, but that's what being a pro is. You
almost have to say in your mind, okay, we just experienced halftime. We had an extended halftime. Now when we step on the field, we're playing all the way through. You know, we'll play the rest of this quarter and 2 more quarters. You just have to have that mindset.
And I am curious to see momentum change. Matty, Milt, you guys talked about how 2 years ago it was all Winnipeg out of the break completely over Hamilton. And in Hamilton last year, the Ticats were trailing. I think they were 0-8 going in that Labor Day game, and the Argos looked pretty good. It wasn't as big a momentum swing, but still, it seemed the Ticats regrouped a little better as the home side, and they went out and they won that Labor Day game, their first of the season.
And I want to talk about what Matt alluded to earlier. They can't let Edmonton come out and score early, because that takes Andrew Harris out of the game as far as running the ball. If Winnipeg can come out and get a drive or stop him right here and get the ball back and at least get in field goal range, you know, create some of that momentum, they have an opportunity. It's going to be difficult if they allow Edmonton to take this ball down the field and score right now.
And with that said, I know Mike O'Shea's last words to his football team prior to the start of this game was all about understanding that, hey, they won a football game with zeros on the clock last year, and so they're never out of it. So that's a mindset that he's trying to implement into his players and make them believe in that no matter what's happening there, just keep going one series at a time, one play at a time, and that's what Osh brings to the table, that feeling of invincibility, and you're always in it. And but that was with Matt Nichols at the helm. This is with the young kid and Chris Trevor making his, I'd say, his second career start tonight.
There you go.
And it's just a very inauspicious way to begin your career, but one that he'll have to handle as well as the rest of the players in the field.
Something else that you have to concern yourself with, especially the skilled guys, is do you keep gloves on right now? It's raining, the ball is going to be wet.
Well, what did you do?
I had to keep my gloves on. It was a mental thing with me. I always had to have gloves on my hands.
Yeah, I only wore gloves when it was cold, so I was old school.
Right, right.
When I was playing in the 90s, gloves were just really coming in, and now some guys just would never take them off.
Yeah.
Now you never see anybody without gloves on. The only time I do see sometimes guys take their gloves off is when it's raining hard.
And some guys, they may need to take them off because you don't want to be out there dropping balls.
Speaking of receivers, I mean, this guy hasn't got a catch yet. He had a ball skipped to him, but you know, and I know that Strevler does not want to be thinking about this. You know, this guy who's playing against his old team. Obviously, everyone would love to get him the football and have him have a big night. And you wonder if that's in the young man's mind. You know, that this is 2 years ago, the league's leading receiver.
You're talking
hasn't got a catch yet, playing against his old team. Got to get him the football.
Yeah, you're talking about matchups, but we're talking about a kid making his first start, trying to learn a playbook. A playbook's probably been cut down by 60, 70%, and plays that he feels comfortable with. And you're talking about doing something that a veteran quarterback does when he sees the opportunity presents itself to the line of scrimmage. And you know, I'm not saying that Chris Trevor doesn't have that ability, but he's still tinkering with the offense and trying to understand the nuances up here, let alone worrying about matchups. But obviously, if they had Matt Nichols out there, they'd be going to work with Darvin Adams and their Darius Bowman along with Weston Dressler.
When you think of how far he has come in this, that he's even starting in this game, a few weeks ago, heading into training camp, Matt Nichols was healthy. Durian Durant was listed as the backup quarterback, and he retired, or he left the team and said he wasn't going to be coming. And even then, Alex Ross would have been next on the depth, or maybe even Brian Bennett. I don't think Strevler was even on anybody's radar, and here he is starting in week 1 for the Bombers.
Well, that's how professional football works out. You know, when your chance, when you get your opportunity, you have to take full advantage of it. I know he didn't think he would be in this position. The Blue Bombers didn't think they would be in this position, but that's the way it works. And if you're a professional athlete, if you want to continue playing on this level, when you get your chance, you got to take full advantage of it. Now, I'm not saying he needs to go out there and light it up, but he has an opportunity to maybe give himself an opportunity to play next week and weeks after that.
I thought it was interesting what Paul Appolise told us before the game about how Streveler, when the starter hadn't been announced, he wasn't hanging around waiting to see if he was going to get word. He just got ready and then found out he was starting.
Right. Unfortunately, because of the weather, we are not going to get to see and hear the Red Claws with a great opening song for Thursday night, Long Live the Night. Long live the night indeed. This game goes on. It is about to resume in the second quarter here in Winnipeg.
The Edmonton Eskimos leading the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on a rainy night all of a sudden. A storm that was supposed to blow through later blows through earlier than expected. A lot of the fans stay in though. And Mike Riley and the Eskimos first and 10. There still is a breeze, not as windy as it once was. They will operate against it. So here we go again. Opening night, part 2 on Thursday Night Football. Riley out of the gun with the play action. And unable to run underneath it is Natea Jay. And we'll see, Dwayne Ford, who that delay affected most. And by the way, the rain is still falling. The weather is still going to be a huge factor in the ballgame.
Yeah, and one of the changes that would have been made during that break may have had to do with footwear for some guys. Obviously, it was sunny, dry conditions when this game started off, and now you've got a field and a football that are absolutely soaked.
Again, they would play through the rain, but it was the lightning flashes around the area that caused them to clear the field earlier. Second down and 10. Riley from the pocket. Now he squirms out and will be short. No, he squeezes forward. Almost 8 yards on that play, and maybe a decision here for Jason Moss and the Eskimos. For a moment, it looked like Riley would be stopped near the line of scrimmage, and then was able to get a couple extra yards, and then stretches it out for a little more.
And depending how close this is, it looks like close to a couple yards, even given the field position being in Winnipeg territory. They're going to send out Hugh O'Neill and that punt team.
It would be about a 55-yard field goal, but again, the wind is still pretty steady right into their face. Kevin Fogg back. O'Neill. Line drive shot. Fogg fumbles it, and the ball is recovered by the Blue Bombers, but a little dicey on the return in a long field. Now Chris Streveler, how will it affect the raw rookie? Came out a little shaky and then started getting things going before the delay.
Well, he certainly did. He started to settle down a little bit, and you heard the boys on the panel talk about it. I thought Jock put it really well, as he said those first few plays is like he wasn't seeing anything. I'm sure everything was a bit of a green and gold blur on the other side, but started to settle down, connected with Dressler for the touchdown pass, and obviously a little bit of face-to-face time with his OC. Paul Lapalisse probably will help too.
That gets knocked down, so now he has to come out in the rain and the wet.
Now, the one thing I will say, Rod, is in being aware of the situation, as you saw that line drive punt and Kevin Fogg tried to field it, it's one where you're trying to judge whether it's going to bounce coffin corner or go into the end zone. I think on that one, if you're Fogg and if you're the coaching staff, you take your chances on letting it go to the end zone and take the single. With a rookie quarterback in his first game, this isn't the field position you want to put him in. Give up the single and give him the ball at the 35.
Here comes the blitz, and batted down at the line of scrimmage again, looking for Darvin Adams. And so even though Justin Medlock is going to be in the end zone now, he does have, again, a healthy breeze. Look at the driving rain. And J.C. Sherritt, who picked off Streveler earlier in the ball game.
Sherritt quickly becoming the nemesis of the young quarterback.
So will they give up to here, or will they boot it away and give Edmonton instant field position? This is the question mark right now. Medlock's going to be pretty deep here. Good leg. Again with the wind. See how that decision by Fogg affects it here. He does take 2, so they give up 2, and Edmonton will get the football back.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
Head coach Mike O'Shea, a former special teams coordinator with the Argos before coming to Winnipeg as the head coach, probably would talk to Kevin Fogg as well about that decision. Tough one in the conditions. They end up giving up 2.
Yeah, and it's not much fun to be a returner. No. In the circumstances either. You know that ball is going to be slick as it's coming at you. It was a line drive, so it was one where it's kind of tough to judge because it wasn't the typical trajectory where you're trying to assess where that ball is going to land.
Bombers almost went to the wrong side of the field there. Again, welcome back everybody after the almost hour-and-a-half delay because of lightning here in Winnipeg. Bombers will kick this off back to the Eskimos after the safety. There will be no halftime. They will resume right after the second quarter, and we'll go right to the second half. So kind of a strange opening night to the 2018 season. Last year's most outstanding player has already made his presence felt, Mike Riley, tonight.
Yeah, a couple big plays. You saw him. He and Darrell Walker, the biggest play of the game. 101-yard catch and run.
And that wind has really died down. Jamil Smith cuts back. Chandler Fenner brings him down up near the 42-yard line on a 19-yard return. Mike Riley did a lot. First game, 2018. This was the big hookup.
Yeah, typical Mike Riley, doing it with his arm. As we mentioned, the bomb to Darrell Walker.
Kenny Stafford chipped in. Walker later.
Real nice passes.
It was nice.
Riley punching it in for his first touchdown run of the season, doing it with his legs.
Riley from the gun now. 43-yard line. Bombers defense looking to come up big, and they do. And it's Jackson Jeffcoat.
Yeah, and this is a guy I anticipate is going to be a real monster in his second Canadian Football League season. Tied with Jamal Westerman for the team lead last year. There you see him at the left side of that defensive line. 7 sacks a year ago. And it's a pretty good-looking rotation of defensive ends. Even though they've lost Westerman, there's still Jeffcoat, Tristan Opolugo, Craig Rowe coming over from Winnipeg as well.
Duke Williams can't hang on.
Coming over from BC, rather, and the young Canadian Trent Corney in that mix.
And a very stout Bomber defense that really led the way in so many ways last year. A team that had the most points per game scored, but only 7th in net offense during the season, and it said everything about their defense, the way they were able to force turnovers.
Yeah, for sure. And you interpret those stats, and then you realize plus 14 in the takeaway giveaway.
O'Neal floating one. Easier to handle this time for Fogg. Down he goes. The rookie will bring his offense back on the field. Well, the 2018 FIFA World Cup continues tomorrow with a triple header of group stage action as Egypt takes on Uruguay, Morocco, Iran, Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal against Spain. Today, Russia getting a win over Saudi Arabia. Coverage begins at 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific on TSN 1, 4, and 5. So let's see how the Bomber offense comes out for their second series here. Andrew Harris, in case you're just joining us, got nicked up a little bit. Went to the sideline. He's obviously all right. Not looked good for a moment as he hobbled over there. Was really firing his teammates up, particularly after they scored that touchdown.
You see offensive coordinator Paul LaPolice.
Here's the blitz again. More pressure on Strebler. And Dressler snares it from his backside. Close to the first down marker. They're going to line up quickly here. They're not going to wait on third down. See how the rookie handles this. And an offside, it looked like. Did the Eskimos jump? Not sure if it was even whistled in. Had that not been offside, Strebler might have taken
whistle,
off.
So we're going to replay the down.
He's a guy who's used to carrying the football a lot.
Well, one of the things I'd like to see Winnipeg get to as they try to establish the run with Andrew Harris is to put themselves in a position to run some play action with Chris Strebler and take advantage of his ability to run that football and really threaten the edge of the defense.
3rd and inches. Strebler goes left side and gets that first down. Sherrod at the bottom of the pile battles. He and Patrick Neufeld exchange some pleasantries.
And no love down in the trenches. Neufeld maybe getting away with bit of a grab. Saw Darvin Adams' right leg get tangled up in that pile a bit. He appears to be okay.
Flags everywhere here.
Procedure, Winnipeg, the whole line, except the center who didn't snap the football. A 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
One more play before the 3-minute warning on this suddenly very late Thursday night football game to start the CFL season. Thursday night football that almost becomes Friday morning football. A 23-year-old from Crystal Lake, Illinois, decides to go now, and Strebler tripped up. It was Adam Konar.
Yeah, Konar, another guy in that linebacking core. The Esks are happy to have healthy again this season.
Bombers drive continues before halftime, down 19-7 here on CFL's soggy opening night to 2018. Stuck it out, and they'll stay to the end. It's going to be a late night. We're glad you're with us. Dressler tried to leap high to make that. That will again bring out Justin Medlock. It's 3rd down now, and the Bombers have to kick it back to the Eskimos.
One of the new additions to that Eskimo defensive line. There you see Alex Bazzi, veteran pass rusher, wreaking a little bit of havoc, putting pressure on the young quarterback that time, forcing the hurried throw.
Former member of the Lions and the Marshall Thundering Herd. His college days. Medlock just got that away. 48-yarder. There's a penalty coming to Winnipeg. Looked like a tripping call here. Chandler Fenner downfield quickly and might have got his leg up on Jamil Smith.
During the return, illegal block, Edmonton number 8.
Against the Eskimos.
A 10-yard penalty, first down, Edmonton.
Keep an eye on Kenny Stafford, number 8, working against Brandon Alexander on the left side of the screen. See the hand on the back the whole way and a little extra shove. Just as Alexander tries to close on the returner.
Moves it back inside the 15-yard line. Mike Riley. Zips one in. And that one's dropped. Saw another lightning flash in the sky, in the northern sky. There is not another cell coming in here tonight.
Chris Randall with a nice play on the break up there. Victimized by Darrell Walker early in this ball game, but that's going to be a heck of a matchup between two terrific football players all night long.
Eskimos 5 for 11 on second down conversions. Riley backpedals. Here comes the heat. And the wobbler thrown away. Riley gets smothered. Rolled over in the end zone. No penalty flag. And 4 straight incompletions by the Eskimos. And I would say, categorizing play so far out of the locker room, it has not been stellar.
A little bit sluggish for sure coming out.
And again, the conditions have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, not a total surprise.
This could be good field position for Winnipeg. O'Neill has to hoof this into the wind. Fogg is back near his 50. 12-point Edmonton Eskimo lead here in Winnipeg. Fielding it at the midfield stripe, and he dropped it again. And there's a penalty flag down, likely no yards, so that wouldn't have mattered, but ball security paramount right now, and it's been a little iffy. Driving rain.
No yards. Edmonton, number 41. This is a 15-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
First down, Winnipeg, Dwayne, and in ideal field position for Strevler to start here.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about in terms of creating situations that put your young quarterback in the best possible position to succeed. You know, and this is why you end up giving up the safety. Obviously, after, as I said, they probably should have given up the signal in that instance. But you give up the safety kickoff and kind of re-level the field and get that field position battle back in your favor with a defensive stop or two.
Net 25 on the penalty. Blitzing again. It's up in the air. Strevler spikes it away. Then gets buried. The guy who is a great athlete showed some volleyball skill there.
It was Bazzi for the second play in a row. Supplying the heat. He's coming from the right side of that defensive line. Winnipeg was trying to set up a screen to Harris. Bazzi was coming off the front side. You're going to let a guy come on the rush when you're running the screen, but you've got to have some kind of delay. He can't run free. You've got to get some kind of bump on him first. Make an effort. Make it look like you're blocking him at least.
Quarterback's 1 for 9 since coming back after the delay. Now here he goes. There goes Strevler and some of that speed we talked about in mobility. First real indication here of his flash with his feet.
And you get the idea here. Watch Andrew Harris clear out to the left. That's going to pull someone out of the box. J.C. Sherritt guessed which gap he was taking, but guessed wrong. We're starting to see Paul LaPolice call some designed quarterback runs. We've seen the QB draw a couple times here since the break.
So there's an Eskimo down suddenly, just as the Bombers were trying to go up tempo and take it right to the line of scrimmage. It's down lineman Mike Moore, who played with the Ottawa Red Blacks and also with the Eskimos last season. His dad Sean, a former CFL and NFL quarterback and assistant coach in Virginia, and he's in a lot of pain here. Just kind of went down suddenly.
There you see D coordinator Mike Benavides and D line coach Demetrius Maxey. Moore was a guy that for whom head coach Jason Moss had high praise in terms of his work through training camp to earn a position on that D line.
Knee or ankle injury. And he's in some considerable pain down there. We'll try to get an update. Let's go to the sideline now and join Sarah Orleski.
Well, Rod, it's still raining down here. I hope that you're warm and dry up there. But during that delay, both teams tried to be as productive as they could. A lot of stretching, team said, with respect to their players. Same, too, with watching film. And both organizations brought down food for the players. For the Eskimos, they were eating rice cakes. We saw some video of it earlier on. They were eating rice cakes with peanut butter and honey, topped with dried blueberries.
All right, that's something I think is right up your menu, isn't it?
Topped with honey, dried blueberries, and steak.
Harris crashing forward on first down. Again, the big story for the Blue Bombers this week coming in is this fresh-faced freshman named Chris Strevler. Was supposed to be Matt Nichols. He got hurt, non-contact, backpedaling apparently, knee injury. Bombers had Darian Durant on their depth chart, veteran, but decided not to continue playing. So Strevler takes over, and he's got Darvin Adams for the touchdown. How about that?
Beautifully placed throw behind. Tell you what has happened. From an Edmonton point of view, you're all about trying to put pressure on the young guy. And then the young guy kills you with a couple of runs, and you realize you better back off, and now he gets time to throw the football. And Strevler gets back in his comfort zone and makes the Edmonton Eskimos pay.
Well, he's been called a gunslinger and run bringer. He can do both. And a couple of touchdown passes tonight for Chris Strevler. First guy in 24 years to go right from the college ranks to start a CFL game. Anthony Calvillo did that with the Las Vegas Posse. Only 2 quarterbacks have ever gone right from college to their first start and won the game. One was Calvillo, and the other was this guy named Joe Theismann back in 1971.
We'll take a look now at Chris Strevler's second career CFL touchdown pass, looking to Darvin Adams on the outside.
So the Bombers with some thunder here. But guess what? We've got more lightning, and they are clearing the field again. So Chris Strevler is going to make his 3rd start on opening night. Could this night get any more outrageous? Nor unpredictable. Bombers down 5 right now. Jason Moss. We saw lightning flashes in the area and kind of knew that there was another cell coming in. So it's a head shaker tonight, but it's sports outside in the great white north in the summer of football. Unless you're in a dome stadium, this stuff can happen. We've seen it happen here before, and partner, you and I have been living through a couple of these.
Yes, this is not our first delay here in Winnipeg.
So again, they'll clear. You think about the fans too. It's not like tomorrow is a weekend, a day off. There are a lot of kids here, so
yeah. Well, I suspect a lot of the kids probably went home during the first delay, unfortunately missing out on some of these opening night fireworks.
I think that bear is going to stick around.
Oh yeah,
not afraid of rain.
Yeah,
but they're going to give the fans warnings again to clear into the concourses. And lightning in the area. The Bombers were battling back once more. Not sure how long this delay is going to be. We'll hear from the league. And I'm sure the panel is ready to reassemble again.
Well, there's the Road Warriors. You know they're going to stick it out.
Yeah. Maybe that Rod and Jock and Milton Nat should wear those in. Tonight, one thing for sure, you need a rain suit, rain gear. It's just one of those nights. Got to get through it. Find some way. So you were calling it. Strevler starts to take off. And he hits them with the arm.
Yeah, keeping the defense honest.
The kids look. Part 3.
Past my bedtime, partner.
Part 3 is here. The earliest starting game in CFL history will become the longest game in CFL history. There seems to be an irony in that, isn't there? Coincidence? Perhaps not. So we continue on after another delay, an hour and 32. We had an hour 23 earlier. Almost 3 hours of a delay. It looks like we've got clear sailing. Yeah. Don't want to jinx it.
Just fitting that as everybody gets excited for the kickoff, the ball rolls off the tee.
And there's water everywhere. It could be very sloppy. The lightning delays mean that we continue on close to the witching hour here. And the ball falls from the tee once again. Seems to be something metaphorical here, isn't there?
Well, like the night as a whole, we hope that the third time is a charm.
It can't be any worse than what we had early on with all the delays, but hey, the fans here, they're hanging in. They're not going to work or going to school in the morning, I'll tell you that. Here we go. Justin Medlock kicks it off to Jamil Smith. Smith finding a seam up near the 20-yard line, and Mike Riley will bring his offense back on the field. Another time here tonight after another delay, and we'll see how it plays out here tonight, how these delays have affected either team. The Bombers came out of that last delay, and they had momentum and seized it, and then the Lightning started to creep in once again. We were delayed once again.
And now I don't want it to be lost here as the Eskimos take over possession in their own end. There's a minute 17 left in the half, so even though we're not taking a full halftime, the fact is
they've got the clock.
Possession ends at the half.
The clock to use, and that's why they're no huddling here. Plus, they probably had a long time to think about a play.
Well, they've probably got about 10 of them memorized, scripted and memorized right now.
Oh, the old saying, I love a rainy night. Not so much. And they hand it up. They got to CJ Gable. Rick Nevis made the initial stop. Corey Johnson finished him off. And the Bombers, if with a stop here, could get the ball back before, I want to say halftime, but it's really the end of the second quarter because there is no official halftime. We're going to play through here.
Yes, very short halftime.
3-minute break after this quarter. Fans hanging in here tonight. 5-point ball game on opening night. Riley fires far side, first down. Liddell Hazelton quiets this crowd up near the 38 with 46 to go, and Riley will bring his team right to the line of scrimmage. His first completion since that first Lightning delay.
Liddell Hazelton getting involved here. Another one of those very good Edmonton Eskimo receivers that at times has been overshadowed.
Riley again, Duke Williams. Great move on Adam Bighill, and footing is going to be certainly an issue as well. This field is so wet track right now. It is field turf. There were some huge puddles out there. Again, there would have been no delays. I mean, we would have played through the rain, as you do in football, but it was the Lightning. Twice flashes in the sky. 25 to go for the end of the second quarter. Gable, first down, will move the sticks. Carries a pile with him. Down to 18 seconds. So again, they're trying to get it into field goal position at the very least here, because there will be a kickoff to start that third quarter. Trying to get into field goal position. A step out of bounds there. Took up 7, so.
And not. Did they call him out?
So 7 seconds. Mike Riley looks to the sideline. Sean White's longest field goal is 55 yards. The wind is still blowing, but not nearly as much, and this would be into the wind. So he has to get at least another 8 to 10 yards. Still a very stiff breeze. So this is going to have to be either a quick out or they're going for the end zone. Going over the top, and we'll have to try to get it there. Clock ticks to 1 second. So they're going to be able to bring Sean White out here for an attempted field goal.
Well, Eskimos offense looking sharp after that break.
For a moment with the clock at 7 seconds, good inner time management by CJ Gable, able to go down. So this is before the gun here, second quarter. Then again a 3-minute break, which would have been a halftime.
Second, please.
Sean White. This will be from the 45-yard line. Is 1 for 1 already tonight, which was a long time ago, by the way. This for an 8-point lead after 2 quarters. And the hold, White the kick, and it is wide. Kevin Fogg. Look out here. Splashes down the sideline. Still on his feet. Kevin Fogg. He can go. He's going to go. He's going to score a touchdown here. Oh, my goodness.
The fans that stayed, they deserve that.
Near the stroke of midnight on the final play before a shortened halftime. And on a night of rain and lightning, suddenly Fogg rolls through.
And what a huge turn of events as the Edmonton Eskimos piece together a perfect drive to get that opportunity to put up points before the break. With that miss and a terrific return by Kevin Fogg, it's the Bombers with a major to close the half.
Sit down, get your breath.
Sloshing and splashing through the puddles down the sideline. No one could catch him. 110 yards for a 2-point convert. Strevler throws over the top. It is picked. The Eskimos could take it back the other way for 2. It's Neil King who finally goes down. But the Winnipeg Blue Bombers score a touchdown on the final play of the first half. A long half. It was that guy. 110 yards.
Music's playing, yeah, we're swaying, crank it to 10. These stars are falling like confetti, so wish on
They were spread apart by 4.5 hours.
We are, I think it's pretty close to being saying good morning.
Yeah, long live the night, Rod. Long live the night.
And long live Kevin Fogg in Winnipeg Hearts tonight. Just watch the water come sloshing out here. That is one of the wettest missed field goal returns ever. Without a snorkel.
You're going to see Kevin Fogg cover the last 10 yards in a canoe.
Without a snorkel. And you know something? It's not done yet. Stand by for adventure.
All I can say as we start the second half is that I hope this half goes by a little faster than the first one.
Oh my. If you are watching us right now and thinking this is a replay, it is not. We are live in Winnipeg, game that began 7:30 local time, opening the CFL season. And so now the Eskimos kick this off to open the second half. Ryan Langford. After you saw that touchdown, you might come back and think, shouldn't Winnipeg be kicking off? But no, this is the kickoff to the second half.
And, you know, we were talking during the break. Winnipeg journalist Randy Turner apparently tweeted, by the time we reach the fourth quarter, Matt Nichols will be back and ready to play.
Great one.
But for now, it is Chris Strevler, the rookie already with 2 touchdown passes here in his Canadian Football League debut.
Which has been one of the longest debuts. It is his 3rd start officially now. And again, there was so much talk this week about what they would do with Strevler, how they would handle him. Well, again, raw rookie, first ever CFL game. Well, he knew it was going to be memorable. And it has become memorable in more ways than one. Second down and 7 for Strebler. Drops it in. And how about that as
Golson came in.
Nick Dembski made the catch. And Strebler's Pops is watching.
Well, Golson was determined to make sure that Dembski got that first down. Watch number 61, the center, coming in to clear a few Eskimos off that pile.
Strebler now talking with the officials. They weren't able to get this play off. There was an alignment and timing issue here. Whistle it in again. 23-year-old quarterback out of South Dakota. Before that, Minnesota, a former receiver. Fleet feet, good arm. CFL debut. Now Andrew Harris trying to get outside, leaping high, gets to the midfield stripe. And a penalty flag, and Harris comes in too. Has to be careful. He didn't get one himself.
The official just saved Andrew Harris from giving those 15 yards right back.
That's Chris Edwards again. Edwards, remember earlier, a big 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer that led to a touchdown.
Edwards played a lot of special teams last year.
Objectionable conduct. Edmonton number 26. 10-yard penalty enforced from where the ball became dead. It will be second down.
Well, I think the talk from the coaches to Chris Edwards would be, you know, kind of like the toughness, like the aggressiveness, but pick your spots. I mean, that's unnecessary, and it's the ball carrier. All eyes are on you.
Strebler. Back to Harris, but not to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down now. They're going to line up quickly here. Once again, Chris Edwards in on the play. So third down now. Strebler, I don't know. No, he's going backwards. Maybe that time should have gone up the middle, and Strebler going right. Are they going to give him? Maybe they're going to give him the progress. Jason Moss said no.
Sticks.
Yeah, they are giving him the first down.
Looked like J.C. Sherritt was in there in a hurry.
So they gave him progress, and they was pushed back. So first down, Winnipeg, from the Edmonton 43-yard line. Strebler keeps this drive going early in the third quarter, past midnight in Winnipeg. Swinging it out to Dressler with running room. Weston Dressler steps out with a first down. Touchdown earlier in the game, Weston Dressler. First touchdown toss from Strebler.
Nice execution on the hit screen. Nick Dembski gets a nice block just to kind of get enough of Jordan Hoover to allow Dressler to get the corner on him there.
Andrew Harris is going to move the chain gang again. It looks like very close to 10 yards.
And we have another Eskimo defender down.
He just dropped all of a sudden, too. This is Darius Allen. Colorado Pueblo.
And we saw Mike Moore go down in the second quarter. I believe that was the hamstring injury that Jason Moss was referring to.
I wonder if it's a similar injury. He just dropped suddenly.
You've got a running quarterback for Winnipeg, and if they start losing some bodies from that defensive line, there's an opportunity for the Bombers to wear them out a little bit.
Looked like maybe a stinger or something.
That right arm.
Right here, watches his neck and head. Snap right there. And he might have a stinger of some sort. Got up and quickly went down. Still in some serious pain. We'll step aside and come back to Winnipeg after midnight. And in this game to start the season, both sides are going at it here. And Darius Allen still on the field. Appears to Not as much distress, that right arm. Holding that gingerly. We can get an update, and again, two teams got the blood boiling right now. It's been a strange night here in the Peg. Open the 2018 season, and we got a long way to go here yet. Bombers first down. Second time in the red zone for the Bombers. Streveler, look out, touchdown! His old buddy Wally. Drew Wolatarski has the touchdown. These two guys played together in Minnesota, where Streveler started as a quarterback and then became a receiver.
Well, in his first completion as a quarterback at the University of Minnesota went to Drew Wolatarski. The two, in fact, were roommates for a time at Minnesota. When Streveler was considering coming up, he reached out to his old buddy. Hey, are you still in Winnipeg? Wolatarski selected last year in the supplemental draft. He has Canadian citizenship, qualifies as a national. But very fittingly, these two guys get to make their first career CFL starts together here tonight and connect for a touchdown.
And they got a couple of souvenir footballs. Streveler earlier had his first touchdown toss to Weston Dressler. And now Streveler has 3 touchdown passes in this game, and Wolatarski also has one for the cabinet. Minnesota Golden Gophers well represented.
Minnesota was good, baby.
Wolatarski's the outside man. And that trips into the right side of the field. Fake hitch, corner bites, over the top, there he is.
Easily done. Bombers taking command here in this second half. And Dad Eric. Pops is enjoying it. The family Streveler making the trip up just outside of Chicago is where they hail from. Crystal Lake, Illinois.
What up, man? What's up, guys? We're still awake. Love you. Love you guys.
8-play, 66-yard drive. Again, a lot of that momentum coming after that Kevin Fogg touchdown on the missed field goal. Winnipeg is ahead now, 27-19. 4 minutes gone, third quarter. Late night, early morning in Winnipeg. Shane Gauthier bringing down Jamil Smith. Now Mike Riley needs to get some traction here. And some momentum.
Well, you look at the turnaround of the end of that first half. Essentially a 9-point turnaround. A missed field goal that gets returned for a touchdown. Immediate 9-point swing. But on top of that, because the Bombers had won the toss and deferred, the Bombers were getting the ball right back after they scored.
Five-yard gain for C.J. Gable. Wind is dying down now.
I'll say, Rod, that the delays have not taken any of the physicality out of this football game.
No.
A good hard run there by C.J. Gable. Pads are popping.
Another second down play here, 2nd and 5 for Riley, who had it going early on in this ball game. In one way, now the other. Pocket closes, has Darrell Walker. First down. Walker started the scoring off about, 5 hours ago.
Yesterday.
Yesterday when he went 101 yards. And a bomb from Riley. This time Riley goes through his reads and then finds Walker. Another tackle made by Jovan Santos Knox. He's been in on so many plays tonight. 1st and 10. Pitch to Hazelton. Hazelton, straight arm, and Try to streak outside, but it's Kevin Fogg again.
That's a nice effort by Kevin. It looked like Hazelton had him with the stiff arm there to get to the outside. Bigger, stronger guy, but Fogg able to readjust, wrap up, and bring him down.
Fogg takes that kick back, had a kick return last year. 2 years ago, had 4 kick returns for touchdowns, all called back because of penalty. A good night here tonight. Riley pursued and tried to thread the needle for Duke Williams. Took a shot at the last moment from Corey Johnson. Good sportsmanship there. They'll bring the kick unit out again. Drive stalls.
And that's Eskimos offense is going to have to find a way to get things going. We talked about the shift in momentum in this ball game.
We had a missed field goal for a return. Fogg is back. Steps out of bounds. 27-19, the rookie back at it. What a night he's had. A hat trick of touchdown tosses. This one to his old roommate. Former Gophers combined in Winnipeg. That has to be one of your favorite shows. Has to be. You're a master consumer.
I have an appreciation.
Yes, you do. Blue Bombers have the football back here tonight. They're down 19-7. Now lead 27-19. Dembski again. So jacked up to come home. Guy who got hurt last year playing against the Blue Bombers. Labor Day game.
Yeah, a guy that I think many felt was poised for a breakout season in Saskatchewan last year before battling injuries.
And native Winnipegger, as is this guy, Andrew Harris. They converge on him. He battles for a couple extra yards.
There you see Kwaku Boateng, the second-year man out of Wilfrid Laurier University. Finds himself in the starting lineup. Mike Benavides says this isn't a ratio thing. This is a guy who earned the starting job at defensive end purely on talent. He was once the second-ranked prospect going into that 2017 draft. Slid down after not necessarily having a great combine, but terrific rookie year for Edmonton last season.
Deep drop for Strebler, crossing pattern. Dembski spinning. Does not get back to that first down marker, and so Winnipeg will be forced to boot the ball back to Edmonton here tonight.
And then you see Dembski make the catch. Think back to his draft year and the time when many felt this was the guy that the Bombers had their eye on. They wanted a Canadian receiver, and the rival Saskatchewan Roughriders, a few picks before them, jumped in and took him.
Played on this campus, Manitoba Bison. They share the field with the new sport team. Jamil Smith. Eskimos need to get it going now. In arrears here tonight on opening night in Winnipeg.
He said that Mike O'Shea, who was working the special teams with the Toronto Argonauts at that time, came over to him after a game to tell him how much he respected the way that Big Hill played the game. They continued to keep in touch. They would find each other after the games and talk about things. He said that he liked Mike O'Shea and that relationship. As for O'Shea, obviously that mutual admiration still exists and continues to grow. He did not think that Adam Big Hill would make his way back into the CFL. One of the things that he really likes about him is that he's going to hold this defense accountable and coaches as well.
Well, General Big Hill. Around that football as Duke Williams dropped it, but it was incomplete. Try again here. Bill Smith near that first down marker.
Well, Smith, primarily a kick returner, getting a few reps off defensively here. I wonder, appears he might be in for Vidal Hazelton. Hazelton, after that tackle by Kevin Fogg, came up limping.
Third down. Riley has to push forward. Looks like he'll get it. There were a lot of big moves around the Canadian Football League in the offseason, particularly really in the month of February.
Yeah, that was where it all heated up. But Adam Bighill was one of those who came available late. Spent last season with the New Orleans Saints, contributing on special teams. Released by the Saints, had some other NFL opportunities, but wanted to get back to where his career began.
C.J. Gable out of the backfield just past the line of scrimmage. One thing the Bombers are doing, and Mike Riley, loads of pressure. They are bringing it, including Agent Ford. Able to retreat back. I think he'll also said, talking with some of his ex-teammates, one in particular, Andrew Harris, who he played with in BC, also helped convince him to come to Winnipeg. Happy to be here, he says, as Riley is incomplete. It's a struggle now for Mike Riley, just trying to find open targets. The Eskimos are really flatlined since the delays.
Well, and again, they put together a good drive when they first came out, and that was the final minute 18 of what was the first half. And you know, you wonder a little bit, had this been a game played under normal circumstances and there had been an actual break at halftime, that if the momentum carryover of the Kevin Fogg return would have been quite as great.
Totally agree with you. No return this time, but a big return and a big night for the rookie. So far has propelled Winnipeg into the lead. We sat with him yesterday. Boy, what a likable young guy.
He really is an infectious personality, and this is the kind of thing you hear about him from former teammates, former coaches, that, you know, you want your quarterback to be a leader, and he's an easy guy to follow.
Weston Dressler. He's had a good opening night so far with a touchdown earlier, a couple of catches in the game. Well, so I guess I have to ask you the question, though, and you've been around this league for quite some time. It's Matt Nichols, again, unable to start tonight, and it's very rare over the last couple of decades that we've seen a college player make his debut as Andrew Harris finds some running room again to the 50. And Harris has been fired up all night, gets in the grill of Nick Taylor. Why have we not seen more quarterbacks come right out of college, right to make a first start?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is obviously with most of those quarterbacks coming from NCAA schools, they're playing American football. It's a different game, getting used to bigger field, 12 men on the field, different defensive schemes and coverages.
There's passion going on and a penalty flag behind the play. Wolotarski is there, and he's into it. Another flag flies, and this late night is getting later. Tempers short. Great play by Dembski again. 16-yard pickup.
Yep.
There was a penalty behind the play.
Well, we're seeing with Dressler and Dembski in this offense as the slots, there's a great opportunity to get both those guys involved running the football, giving some different looks. And that's particularly important with Timothy Flanders out of the lineup. He was a guy who could play kind of that hybrid running back, slot back spot as a way to get he and Harris on the field
face
together.
Mask. Edmonton number 54. Tandem block. Illegal block, tandem block. Winnipeg number 51 will go up 5 yards where the ball was, and it's going to be first down Winnipeg.
Well, Jamarcus Hardwick, you see, you cannot assist on a block, a tandem block.
Yeah, referring to basically not blocking an opponent, but pushing your own ball carrier. forward.
I don't know if he was pushing him, actually carried him like a football. And then there was the face mask call behind the play as well.
Yeah, that was Alex Bazzi tangled up with Drew Wolotarski.
So back to the Strevler situation.
Yeah, I think it's such a significant adjustment. I mean, you look that typically
there was
even
a
guys
time,
who have played in the NFL, yeah, it used to happen a little bit more, but you know, I think defenses have become a lot more complex as well.
A lot of the quarterbacks in this league, a lot of them smaller schools. Well, there it is again. Strevler trying to go to the goal line looking for a Darius Bowman, who still has yet to make a catch here in his Bomber debut. So it'll be second down.
Tight window there. Bowman, sporting his new number 12, lines up as the number 2 receiver to that wide side. And there's an opportunity. You can see he's trying to lead him outside into that window. But I think a little bit of miscommunication as well as a ball that got away from the young quarterback.
Bombers 8 for 16 on second down conversions tonight. The quick rush and swatted away at the line of scrimmage. Will bring out Justin Medlock to extend the lead. Try to get it to 11 here. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. CFL points leader. Last 3 straight seasons, Justin Medlock. Oh, look out now. As Alex Ross takes off, and there seemed to be a problem from the snap to the hold. Ross goes down. Medlock could not get the kickoff. Alex Ross is a new holder for Justin Medlock. And Ross banged up.
Yeah, snap was in clean. Looked like as he went to pin it, like that ball slid. The tip of the ball slipped.
Medlock able to pull that back. And Ross goes flying, so turnover by the Blue Bombers. To give the Eskimos a spark here. Riley going deep. And it's a jump ball, and it is caught. What a catch by the Duke. Daquille Williams goes up high and makes a spectacular catch here.
Phenomenal job tracking the football. Then going up full extension to bring it in.
This was similar to a catch he made last year, one of the top 10 catches by Duke Williams in his first season last year. Expect to see more from 81 this year with Bill Zylstra or Darius Bowman.
Over 700 yards in just 13 games last year.
Far sideline for Darrell Walker, and suddenly momentum could shift again here as we get down inside the final minute of this third quarter. Phenomenal catch by Duke Williams.
Look at combination of Williams, Darrell Walker, who had the 101-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter of this ball game. And there's a great ability to stretch the field for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Second down and short yardage, and the Bombers stand him up and stuff C.J. Gable. It'll be third down, 3rd and 5. They'll go for the points here. Bring out Sean White. Final play of the third quarter.
We know what happened on the final play of the second quarter when Sean White attempted a field goal. That one from a little farther out.
This one from the 32-yard line. Normally is a gimme, though. Game after midnight and a wet track. Seen so many weird occurrences here tonight. I don't think anything is a gimme. Basically from point after territory. This one is for Sean White. Back to a 5-point game. We head to the fourth quarter. Long, long night in Winnipeg on opening night. Right. 5-point game, still far from finished here as the Bombers and the Eskimos tangle here tonight. As we head to the fourth quarter, and we've had 2 lightning delays, it will be the longest game in CFL history.
Remarkable. A 2-day festival of football to open the season, a new tradition.
It's a doubleheader, actually. Actually, it's a tripleheader now. 27-22 right now as Chris Strevler continues to operate in his debut in the Canadian Football League, fresh out of college. Now he's going to take off for Willie. Able to pitch it out at the last moment. He's found a good pitch and catch buddy with Nick Dembski in this game so far.
Dembski having a productive Blue Bomber debut. Then young man coming home, the 6th overall pick to the Saskatchewan Roughriders back in 2015. Bombers a few picks later took Addison Richards.
Strevler over the top. And Dressler's there. Inside the 30. Penalty flag down. Near sideline. Will this hold? Boy, that looked like a quarterback who's been around this game for some time. The sharpness, the crispness of the pass, and the poise.
We talked off the top about how this is a studious guy. Again, you know, completed his undergrad in 3 years at the University of Minnesota, transfers to South Dakota. First year there, completes a master's degree. Second year there, completes another master's degree. And he's demonstrating a similar mastery of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers playbook.
Scrambles out of the pocket.
You know, as we talked to head coach Mike O'Shea yesterday, one of the stories that I loved was asking him if there was kind of a moment during training camp where, you know, the light kind of went on and he thought this guy could be a pretty good football player. And he said there was a time when Paul LaPolice signaled in a play and expected Strevler to look at his wristband to call the play. No look down. He knew exactly what the play was and just called it.
There's the rush. Penalty flag, luckily it holds. Strevler. There's a veteran move, actually, too, being able to throw it away. But this is against the Bombers, it looks like. It's a hold on 2nd down.
Fine. 3rd down.
So 3rd down now, and Medlock will come out. Try to restore that 8-point advantage. Strevler's been impressive. Again, 24 years since a college quarterback went straight to his first start in the CFL. Guy's name was Anthony Calvillo, who just grew into a legend. Who would have thought at that time?
Yeah, and you know, I'll add to that. I mean, Anthony Calvillo made that first start in an expansion era when the American teams were in, you know, little different competition, little different situation in terms of the number of teams and opportunity for a young quarterback to start. It was a Las Vegas versus Sacramento, his first game.
21 years old he was at the time. Medlock's good. An 8-point Bomber lead in Winnipeg.
I'll tell you, if this guy's anything like my kids, about 2 minutes ago, he was snarling at his father. I'm not tired. I'm not.
I just did that to you in the booth, as a matter of fact. C.J. Gable on a swing pass from Riley. A couple of minutes away from this being the latest game ever. CFL history. Keep in mind, a game has been pushed back before. Fog Bowl, of course, and games previously, but kind of worried a little bit early on. There's lightning flashes in the area, how long we'd be here, but well past midnight. Likely going to finish just after 1 a.m. local time here tonight. Anybody's ball game still. Duke Williams. And Fogg tries to finish him off, and a bunch of Bombers in on the play.
In comes the posse.
And of course, Taylor Loeffler would be there, Chandler Fenner.
And about 4 others. This Winnipeg defense feeling the same momentum as is their O. Just swarming to the ball. See Anthony Gator, Big Hill, Fenner, Craig Rowe, BC Lions East.
Yes, they are. 2nd down and 7. Eskimos trail by 8. Riley, pressure on. Bombers had a hand on, and Riley now throws, and he's dumped. Gets it away. 1st down. And a nice catch downfield. Nate Bahar has his first catch of 2018.
Yeah, Bahar, the Carleton product, who was Edmonton's 1st-round pick last year. Stays alive here as Mike Riley's on the scramble.
Did not catch a pass. 2017.
Yeah, that's the first of his career.
Bahar. First one comes in Winnipeg and could be part of a big drive here. C.J. Gable running wild, and Loeffler takes him down near the 20 inside the red zone for the Eskimos. Now mixing and matching, and now officially the latest game ever played. The previous record was
we were there.
Here. Yeah, we had that one. That was the milk game. Is the panel still awake? Riley. More Gable. Fenner takes him down for a loss.
Oh, Fenner, such a breakout player with the BC Lions last year. You know, this is another guy that Mike O'Shea, I would say, was pleasantly surprised to have landed in free agency. Playing that nickel linebacker spot.
Now outside the red zone. Cluster formation. Sends 3 receivers to his left. Riley looks that way. Hangs in. Throws a deep one for Duke Williams. And it's picked off. And what a night for Kevin Fogg. Frustration continues for Riley on an overthrow. A Bomber team that feasted last year on turnovers. Kevin Fogg's already got a huge touchdown tonight on a return. This time he takes it away from the Eskimos. First pick of the new season.
Winnipeg getting into that D-line rotation. We mentioned the depth at defensive end. It was Corney and Rowe coming off the edges that time. Giving Jeffcoat a break. They supply the pressure. Throw gets away from Riley. Kevin Fogg makes him pay. Kevin Fogg. They're chatting with Mo Leggett and others on the sidelines.
I like it. I like it.
Making his bid for Week 1 Performers of the Week.
He's had such a big night. It's almost as if he played 3 games. Slant pattern. Adams pulls it in.
Adams that time working against one of the 2 rookies on the back end. One of 3 guys making their first career start in the Edmonton secondary. That's Maurice McKnight playing the boundary corner.
There's a big 3rd and 1, and was the push good enough to get it to the 35-yard line? See where the spot is. Looks like they're going to spot it on the 35, and they'll move the sticks. First down. How about these fans here in Winnipeg? You know, a city that's kind of gotten over the heartbreak, or still getting over the heartbreak of their hockey team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And while we were in break, chanting, "Let's go Bombers," and they're still hanging in. I guess you probably want to say someday that, you know, I was at that longest game in CFL history. Or maybe the buses just aren't running anymore. You're here all night. Dressler end around. It's upended. Jordan Hoover on that corner. And such a green secondary right now for the Eskimos.
Eskimos secondary taking another hit during the week as veteran halfback Aaron Grimes had to head home to the U.S. to deal with a personal matter.
2nd and 9. Strebler with time. Harris swipes away J.C. Sherritt, but then Sherritt comes back and brings him down, and that will bring out Medlock again to kick it back to the Eskimos. Edmonton team that back in 2015 won a Grey Cup right here. Last year had such a streaky season. What a roller coaster ride for Jason Moss. 7 straight wins, 6 straight losses, then 6 wins in a row, including 1 in the playoffs. Could not have been more up and down.
And a team that sustained so many injuries over the course of the year. Talking to Mike Benavides before this game, he's 31 players on defense.
Smith trying to make something happen, but he slipped and slid away. 21-yard return. Still anybody's ball game here in the late morning in Winnipeg. Well, no more lightning flashes in the sky, but the Edmonton Eskimos need some sort of bolt of momentum here. Down to 8. Outscored by these Bombers. Drake Nevis bringing down C.J. Gable for a loss.
Well, Gable slow getting up. Just looked like that play. The Bombers were playing faster than the Eskimos were as they're trying to set up that screen. It had to be accelerated. Gable didn't get quite as much as he wanted of Adam Bighill. Ended up forcing Riley to throw the ball quickly, which meant the ball was out before the blockers could get in front of Gable, form that convoy.
And that's been a story for the Bombers defense leading the way here. A lot of pressure on Mike Riley. Here it comes again. He tries to escape. He does. It's over to Darrell Walker. Takes a heavy shot. Anthony Gator, but to a first down for Darrell Walker.
Yeah, big collision. Both players shake it off.
150 yards receiving for Darrell Walker.
Yeah, there was a point in this ball game early on where Darrell Walker was on pace for 7,200 yards this season.
Fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to measure this. He may not have got that first down, so it could be 3rd and inches. Even though momentum has really been on Winnipeg's side, there's a stretch there.
Yeah, fortunately, been working on the flexibility in the offseason.
Saw you and Davis Sanchez doing your stretches up here.
It's an old guy thing.
Milt didn't have anything to do with that, I noticed.
Well, Milt.
He didn't want to get that bow tie.
Milt is in denial.
Oh, yeah.
Milt for years has talked about how much younger he is than me. I want you to know Milt is like not even 8 months yet.
Here it is, 3rd and inches for Riley. Just has to fall over this line. See Adam Bighill flying over the top. Plays with just reckless abandon and so fierce. A guy who knows Mike Riley so well. In fact, if it wasn't for Mike Riley, Adam Bighill may not have been in the Canadian Football League. Watch this. Their Central Washington teammates. Mahar, 2nd catch of the night and his career. 3-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Eskimos look to go tempo on offense. Little misdirection play here to set up that screen to Bahar.
10 for 23, the Eskimos on second down conversions. They need this here as time ticks away. Get close to 1 a.m. with time over the top, and Williams hauls it in right at the 55-yard line, midfield stripe. Do not count these Eskimos out with this explosive offense. 18-yard gain.
Duke Williams once again using the big body to go up and shield that ball from the defender.
Kevin Fogg in on the contact. Four-man rush. Riley comes in far side.
Here we go.
Kenny Stafford trying to get out of bounds. And he won't, and we are at the 3-minute warning. Mercifully on a long, long night, but the Eskimos are driving. Down 8 in Winnipeg. 4 tied for the lead with Ian Poulter. Tough day on Long Island. All second major. Tough night here in Winnipeg. Mother Nature's had her say. We're getting through, and so are the Eskimos and Bombers, and Mike Riley on 2nd and 4. This is going to make a longish third down play. 2:42 mark. Actually, they're going to mark it. It's going to be about 3.5 yards. So that extra effort. 3rd and less than 1. 3 for 3 tonight are the Eskimos on third down gambles. Need a touchdown and a 2-point conference to tie. Riley with a delay there, but gets it.
Yeah, second effort, you saw him kind of go into the pile and then pop out the other side.
So the Eskimos
playing 3-down football. 2.5 to go. Down by 8.
And there is a possibility of overtime.
Yes, there is.
Actually, I think we're in overtime already. 1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 45. Riley standing in, down that far rail. Jump ball. Oh! Duke Williams was out of bounds. Made the catch. And he is hurt. But it's out of bounds. You must have a foot down in the Canadian Football League this year. And if you are pushed out, this time he couldn't. He almost was able to get a foot down. Looked like he may have landed hard on his helmet.
Credit Duke Williams. This is a guy absolutely selling out, trying to make a play for his team.
What a catch.
He knows when he goes up to try and make this catch, he's not going to be.
Did he get his foot in? Probably.
I think he
has possession here. Is his foot down? Wow. That is so close.
Yeah, I mean,
Jason Moss might be getting some information from above as well, and maybe tempted to throw a challenge flag. Let's see. Not sure. No, he's. Well, there's possession here. Did he get?
You watch that left foot. I think he's airborne and spinning.
Yeah.
I don't think that foot ever touched down.
That was so close, though.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous effort. You know, he knows when he goes to make this catch, he knows he is not going to be in a position to protect himself in the landing. But he's committing to try and make what would have been a monstrous play for the Eskimos. Hopefully just winded by the hard landing.
So many people expecting so much from Duke Williams. Breakout early on last year in his first season in the CFL, but just so many receivers. Brandon Zylstra had a monster year, and Darrell Walker and Adarius Bowman at the time. Williams, as Mike Riley said, playing with a chip on his shoulder now. You might expect to see this guy the final 2 minutes. Huge down here. Second down, the Bombers show 4. And they're going to rush down the blitz. send the slant to Walker. Darrell Walker. Looks like he has another first down.
Well, and this is just great recognition and execution of the blitz adjustment between quarterback and receiver. Darrell Walker knows. Extra guy comes. He's going quick slant, getting into an easy throwing lane for Riley. Ball's out quickly. A well-earned first down for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Stafford makes one miss, then another. And is knocked out of bounds. But not before he makes that first down. Hang on here. Mike Riley, like Ricky Ray, the Argos, known for those fourth quarter comebacks, and he's doing it again here. Brandon Alexander brings him out of bounds.
Yeah, Adam Bighill was the one that had the first shot at him. Just two guys moving full speed in opposite directions. Bighill didn't really get under control to line him up.
Riley barking out signals now. Play clock coming down to 3, down to 2. They'll get it off. Again, the heat. And Riley to the end zone. And there's an interference call coming.
Well, we'll see if this is unintentional interference. It looked like their feet just got tangled up.
Jamil Smith went flying in the end zone. Anthony Gator was watching him.
Ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. First down, Edmonton.
So down to the 1-yard line. And it looked like a
bit
maybe
of a
even
push
off.
Yeah.
Good call there. Will we see Mike Riley again? This has been his territory. Cable's in the backfield. So the Eskimos need a touchdown and a 2-point convert to tie. Riley and Bighill went over the top. Oh, what a play by Adam Bighill.
Tremendous anticipation of that snap count to time it up and meet Mike Riley in the backfield.
Watch this bit of leapfrog right over the line by his former teammate. 7 tackles in Adam Bighill's Bomber debut. 14th play of this drive coming. Now it's outside the 1. Gable backfield. Riley empties it, takes it, and takes it in for his second scoring touchdown of the night. Flag on the play. And the Bombers are saying it is against Edmonton.
Field. No infraction on the play.
No infraction, so that touchdown will count.
Touchdown.
Now a critical 2-point convert.
Critical 2-point convert, but there is still is 1:22 to go. Time for Winnipeg, certainly, if the Eskimos tie. And if they don't, perhaps even time for the Eskimos to maybe get the ball back. Edmonton 10 for 15. 2-point convert attempts. We are a convert away from a tie ball game. Past 1 in the morning, Winnipeg time. Riley, here's the rush. Football end zone, and it is caught. But yes, it is caught by Bahar.
Now, I thought we
Did he
might
get
see,
his foot down?
Yeah, I thought this might be the first case of the new rule. Now, if a player is forced out, a receiver, as he goes up to catch a ball, forced out in midair, it is still not a catch unless he comes down in bounds.
He did.
And he did.
Nate Bahar, who's never had a CFL catch, a couple of huge ones here in this fourth quarter in the morning in Winnipeg, and we are all square at 30 points apiece. And what has become the latest and one of the longest CFL games ever could become even longer. But the Blue Bombers do have over a minute to work with to get into field goal range to seal a victory under rookie Chris Strevler.
Yeah, and the Bombers have had a decent night in the return game as well. So this kickoff return unit may be able to help Strevler out in terms of field position.
So Ryan Langford, Kevin Fogg will go back. Have to protect the football. Hugh O'Neill will kick this down to the Blue Bombers, and then Strevler has about just over a minute to work with in his first ever game, which has had a lot of chapters and ebb and flow. Bombers down early. There was a delay. Lightning, they came back, had the lead. Another delay. A lot of swings of momentum here. So Fogg still on his feet, trying to get out of bounds, and now it's up to a rookie to lead his team to victory in his first ever game fresh out of college. The last time that happened was 24 years ago when a young 21-year-old Anthony Calvillo led the Las Vegas Posse past the Sacramento Gold Miners to victory, and then became the CFL's all-time passing leader. Does that mean Chris Strevler 20 years from now is going to be doing that?
Well, one never knows.
Strevler now. Has to be careful with the ball. Dressler dropped it.
You know, I think Anthony Calvillo, by the way, would be the first to point out to you, it wasn't a straight line.
No, it wasn't a straight line.
It wasn't all successes along the way.
Went to Hamilton, of course, after that, then to Montreal, and had a great tag team partner in Ben Cahoon for many years, and great receivers. So this is huge here too, because this play could force Winnipeg to kick, and Edmonton, in fact, could get a chance to still win. Strevler now has to scramble. He throws it away to Dembski, and that was a very dangerous toss. That could have been picked. And now the Eskimos are going to get the ball back under a minute to play. And you know what Mike Riley can do? Concern now for Mike O'Shea.
Well, for all that momentum that Winnipeg had carried in the second half of this ball game, it slipped away from them in the last few minutes. Terrific scoring drive put together by Riley and the Eskimos to tie this ball game.
Jamil Smith. So really, Mike Riley is only a couple of plays away. Great field position from putting it on the foot of Sean White to possibly win this game. Riley has been a king of fourth quarter comebacks. Game-winning drives. 20 overall. Trying to do it here. Here comes the rush. Riley hanging in. The catch is made. And it's Darrell Walker. And right now the Eskimos are in field goal position. Well within Sean White's range. There's the veteran. Missed one tonight that was really costly to the Eskimos. Went back for a touchdown. But has to make that a distant memory. He can clinch it here tonight. Down to 30. Mike Riley's probably just going to try to keep this. Runs a hitch. Is that ball live? They're saying incomplete.
Incomplete.
Boy, that's a risky toss over there.
Make sure we take a look at the path of this ball to make sure that it traveled forward.
Just when you think he might go conservative 40. No. That was a forward pass.
Yeah.
Wow. Had a few strange ones here tonight. Second down. Clock ticking down. Eskimos who won here in November in the West semifinal. Now Mike Riley going backwards. Big kill coming up on him, and now it goes down to Sean White time. Chance to seal the win. Just when he thought maybe they'd take it a little conservatively.
Yeah, not sure exactly what the Eskimos' goal was there, whether it was their way of trying to get a little bit closer, if they thought something was going to open deep to take a touchdown shot. But within Sean White's range, yes, you would have anticipated the last couple play calls would have been more conservative.
So if Sean White misses, this ball has to come out of the end zone now. White, though, 94% last year. Missed once tonight. This for the win. Sean White puts it through for the Edmonton Eskimos. 8 seconds to go. Looking to spoil opening night here in Winnipeg for the Blue Bombers. Danny O'Brien. Good hold.
Ryan King, the long snapper. Perfect operation there from that trio with Sean White capping it off.
Missed that one earlier as Jason Moss cringingly looks through and
exhale.
So now few seconds remain. Kevin Fogg will go back. So it's up to Hugh O'Neill. Probably unlikely that Strevler's going to get a shot here even for a Hail Mary or of anything of the sort. Remember, Kevin Fogg already took one back here tonight on a missed field goal return. Neal boots it deep to Langford. Trying to get out of bounds. No, he gets down. So one shot here for the rookie, who has had a very impressive debut. But it looks like it could be in a loss for Chris Strevler. Mike Riley works his magic again. Going for those game-winning drives in the fourth quarter comebacks.
Well, they'll put it up here, hoping as much perhaps for a pass interference call as for a completion.
Might see some hook and ladder as well. Strevler throws over the top. And the clock is at zeros. That is it. A night of delays, lightning. The earliest that the CFL season has ever begun. Becomes the latest that a game ever ends. Edmonton Eskimos, thanks to Sean White's foot and Mike Riley's arm and savvy. 2 touchdowns as well from Mike Riley here tonight. Our Nissan Titan player of the game, brought to you by Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the CFL.
Yeah, Mike Riley easing his way into the 2018 season. Started it off with a 101-yard shot to Darrell Walker. Part of his 408 yards on the day. Riley also chipping in with a couple of touchdowns on the ground.
This was huge. Nate Bahar.
2-point convert to tie it up, put them in position to go for a winning field goal at the end. Already voted #1 in the TSN player poll, and tonight voted our Nissan Titan player of the game.
So a night of